And so, okay, so all right, Château said, a producer I am especially fond of because they are making wines from a region called Cahors. Cahors is located in the southwest of France, below Bordeaux. The grape variety here is kind of an anomaly in French winemaking, predominantly Malbec. Just a sprinkling, if you will, of Merlot. And look, I understand the trepidation that you might feel about me talking about Malbec because of what Malbec represents in our collective headspace as far as wine is concerned. We just think Argentina, and we think these big, burly wines that you find in Trader Joe's or Vaughn's with ripping high alcohol, super roasted fruit, that's the wines are homogenous. You've had one Argentinian Malbec, you've had them all. Cahors offers something that is radically different. It's the nuance of what this grape variety offers. Malbec, in fact, was such a highly regarded grape that it was one of the primary varieties that were permissible in Bordeaux. Bordeaux had a crazy frost in the 50s, and so they had to wipe everything out. It might be the 50s, 1957. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. So it's odd always to me when a European variety finds more fame outside of Europe than it does within. Cahors right now as a region is really changing that. And this is largely because the rest of France, all of the famous regions, it's too expensive to start a winery there. It's too expensive to buy vineyards. So you have all of these winemakers that have studied under the greats all over the world, whether it's in New Zealand, Australia, California, Burgundy, Champagne, and they're finding all of these other areas that have been largely overlooked and are making wines at a Grand Cru level for a village level price. So these wines have tremendous value. Rather than being these big bombastic wines, you're actually seeing all this finesse being pulled out of them. And this is unique, kind of similar to Beaujolais, in the sense that these wines are super approachable in their youth, but then have the ability to age for 10 to 15 years. And that's incredibly abnormal. Usually wine, it's one or the other. You're either vin de soif, wines that quench your thirst, or you're vin de garde, the grand wines, the wines that require an immense amount of time to come around. This is a wine that has these incredible dark fruit flavors, but instead of, let's say, blackberries, these are wild blackberries. So there is a tartness there. There's a great acidity to balance everything out. As well as having the black fruit, you get this herbaceous scrub brush quality to these wines. These are excellent wines for the summertime with a slight chill. And especially if you're grilling anything off the grill, these are perfect for that. And this is not a wine that's going to break the bank. So this doesn't have to be this reverential, everyone shut up and let's enjoy what we're drinking, but rather, why did you only bring one bottle? So now that I've remembered to actually taste the wine, I am again amazed the fact that Malbec toes that line in between dark fruit, which usually indicates riper wines, bigger, fuller bodied, higher in alcohol. And yet this is fresh. This isn't blackberries, this is wild blackberries. There's an herbaceousness to it. There's this wild nature to these wines. A little bit of black pepper. That's what really makes these wines so perfectly suited for the grill. I hope you enjoy this wine as much as I do. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Cheers.